Alright guys, so looking at the MZT that we're going to be using in today's Necrotic Wake run through for keys plus 10 and beyond. We're going to start off here doing a quad pull. We're going to pull all of this down to these three down the bottom and tank it in place down here, as these two don't really like to move. After that's down, we're going to get a CC on this harvester and pick up the hammer here. We're going to invis and shroud through to the Goliath here. Somebody make sure they grab the spear before doing that. Kyrian player is going to activate the Goliath here. We're going to grab orbs. We're going to pull our first boss into this pack here. These three pad around, so just grab them passively as they come in. Kill them all down on top of the boss. These two at the front of the stage, you can just pull in at your leisure. With the boss, just moving around with the wretches, we got heaps of room just moving around here. Once this is done, we're mounting up and we're running through the gap here. It's no worries. Up the stairs here, we're going to pull the Necromancer in these bags over onto the Sorcerer and Bone Carver here. Once this is dead, somebody grab the Anima Orb, activate the Goliath here. We're going to grab our orbs again and we're going to run with the Marauder into Nazuda here. We're using the Anima Orb on this pack here and the Goliath Orbs. We're killing here. Then make sure someone grabs the hammer and the spear here. Moving up, do these two Goliaths. Moving on to the Necromancer, kill that. Kyrian activates the Goliath again, grab your orbs. We're then running down here into this triple pull here, facing the Marauder away. We're killing Woe here so that we can skip up onto the stage. Once this is all finished off, make sure somebody grabs the hammer. If you've got the ability, CC the Bone Carver here, grab the spear, drop combat, and then get up onto the stage. If you can't do this, everybody get up onto the stage, excluding one DPS. Have them pick up the Javelin, die, get mass res. The spear is really important to get. Coming up here, there's another Anima Orb behind a dead Goliath in the corner here. Grab that. We're going on to the second boss here, Amarth. Then we are moving upstairs. Upstairs here, we're going to do this triple pull to start with here, where we'll use the Anima Orb that we picked up before the second boss. Then we're doing the corner, this corner with the relics, this corner with the relics. The boss comes down, the boss sort of phase starts. We do these two, then we do the one in the corner, this one in the corner, and then we fight Surgeon Stitchflesh. Yeah, we're using one spear on Stitchflesh, two if you do need though. Then we're moving up to the top to the Rhinebinder, the last boss. We will commit our final heroism. We'll commit one or two spears and we'll have three hammers to break the shields. So that's it. Let's get stuck into the commentary and have a look.
And as always, a huge thank you to everybody that supports the channel on Twitch and Patreon. You're absolute legends.
Alright, so getting into this Necrotic Wake commentary here. 3 bags to the left, 4 soldiers. The Vanguard Soldier and Harvester down the bottom of the stairs, and the 4 bags off to the right is our opening pool. Now, where this Harvester sets up down the bottom of the stairs here, right here, this is where you want to pull this pack to. Not up here. This is bad. You want to be down here on this Harvester, nice and clumped up that way, nice and easy. Do not come back up the stairs. Stay down the bottom where this Harvester is, and this pull would have gone a lot better off the back. Bags and soldiers be leaping around, dealing damage to people. Harvester's going to throw random shit via throw flesh at random people and disable people with drained fluids. Make sure you interrupt that. The Vanguard's going to be cast a meat shield. Make sure you kick it. Also has a soothable enrage that goes on every melee ability, Seething Rage. Soothe it regularly, otherwise kill it quickly. Once this pack is down, Demise, the Demon Hunter, is going to go off to the right and CC with Imprison, the Harvester over here. CC that, grab the hammer that's sitting there, drop combat. I'm going to go and grab the spear, and then we're going to invis through the middle here. So Demise is going off to grab that hammer that's right there. I'm grabbing the spear here. Then we're going to come through and we're going to invis up the middle here. Get our steward out from one of the Kyrian players. We're going to activate this Goliath here. Now, I have a minute on my Dancing Rune weapon at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these orbs. Now the orbs provide Anima Exhaust, which increases your movement speed, haste, and healing done by 1%, reduces your damage taken by 4%. It stacks as well. The Anima Orb will pulse 15 times during its duration, and its effectiveness will be increased by the nearby number of mobs that it hits. So we do this pull here with the bags onto the boss and that to get these stacks up quickly. Now I'm just farming back my Dancing Rune weapon, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take Blightborne into this pack over here, okay, with the Harvester, the 2 Vanguards, the 2 soldiers in the middle, and we've been grabbing those bags as they've gone around, and we want these 2 bags at the at the bottom of the stage as well. So now I've got Dancing Rune weapon back. I'm going to go into this pull. Again, this is one of those things I always talk about where if you're not comfortable going into a pull, if you don't have CDs and that, it's better off to wait than just charge in there, have no way to hold aggro or possibly die, and then things go really bad. So we're going to grab these 2 soldiers as they come in as well. We're heroing here, and we're going to get these down as quick as we can. Now with Blightborne here, we killed as well, I should mention. With Blightborne, watch the fetid gas pools. These void zones are created by when the carrion worms die, or just periodically throughout the boss fight. We're pulling into the middle here, so we've got tons of room. Just make sure people face the wretch or the spew away from your group, and just continually kite backwards as the circles go. The carrion worms, when they spawn, will fixate, slow them, stun them, kill them. They explode if they land 3 melee attacks on their fixated target, and you'll know because there's these big green circles. Just make sure you move. Again, heaving wretch just going out to the back there, and we're just moving these worms back. And every time there's a green circle from this fetid gas or whatnot, just moving back. So much room here. We started off in the middle, as you can see. We've got all the way up to this Goliath, and we could go all the way along the front of the stage as well if we wanted to. Tons and tons of room. So okay, so I'm just going to fast forward through the boss here because we've seen all that, and then we're going to get to the end. So boss is now dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount up from here, and we're going to run all the way up the middle here. You can see there is a massive gap through the middle here. We're just going to run up percent wise, 29.33%. We're heading up the stairs here, where we're going to go into the Necromancer. We're going to pull it over to the Bone Carver and the Sorcerer, and somebody might pick up the 3, or you might do them while the Goliath's being activated. If you've got a priest, you can put some form of CC on the mage. You can see we've parried it out there. You could shackle it. You could control undead it if you'd like. As a DK, once the Necromancer dies, if you release it, it instantly goes away. All the risen mobs die when the Necromancer dies, so your group's damage should be going into the Necromancer. If you can't CC that mage, ensure that you're interrupting the Frostbolt volleys. You should aim to kick the Necrotic bolts from the Necromancer and the Sorcerer, as it stacks a healing absorb. The Sorcerer will also drop Shadow Well, which is a void zone on the ground. Just make sure you're not standing in it. Now we're activating the Goliath again here. I'm just going to grab these bags. There's also an Anima Orb over behind that dead Goliath that you want to get. So just pulling these bags, I'm going to grab the orb now. The Goliath is activating, so I'm coming back here to grab... Oh, actually, we didn't have a steward available for it, so I'm getting my steward out to activate this right now. And we're going to get our orbs, and then we're going into Nezuda. You can see that I've got the Anima Orb that was behind the Goliath over here on the ground, which I went and clicked on. Going to take this Marauder into Nezuda here. Now, the Marauder has a really nasty frontal, so make sure you face that away. Nezuda, there's 2 sorcerers and a bone carver around this, so we're pumping the orb into this. The Anima Orb causes you to pulse AoE around you for 10 seconds, deals giga damage, but it interrupts all the casts that are going off as well. Again, watching the Shadow Wells here, you don't want to be standing in them. The Marauder will cast Rasping Scream, which is a fear. You may have to make sure that you kick this. It'll also put up a Bone Shatter Shield, which absorbs 20% of their max health. Last 8 seconds, if you can get through the shield, it suffers like 60 to 70% of its health and will pretty much die. Scales with Fortified as well, so make sure when the shield goes up on the Marauder, you pump it. And as I said, does a stupid nasty frontal cleave. Make sure you're not facing that as you at your group. So once we get Nezuda down here, there is a hammer off to this side, and there is a spear over that side, so make sure your group picks them up. Then we're going to get a res off really quickly because we had a bit of a whoopsie. Pulling these 2 Marauders here, again facing them away from your group. They cast that Rasping Fury, as I said, so 1 kick assigned to each of these. Soon as the shield goes up, make sure that you are busting through whoever's shield goes up first. So you can see there's a shield on this one here at the moment. So there it is there. We're going to break through this shield, and as soon as we break through it, it'll lose like 70% health and it dies straight away. I lost 82% health there. Then we're moving on to this Necromancer here. Again, just gripping the Necromancer out. If you can get a CC on the mage over here with Frostbolt volleys, paralysis, you could control it. It's been parried now, and we're just going to murk this Necromancer down as quick as we can, watching the green swirls on the ground, kicking those necrotic bolts, and then we're going to activate the Goliath over here. We're going to get our orbs out, and we're going to move into the triple pull. We've got the Sorcerer over here, so you need 3 kicks on this pull. Somebody needs to be on the Marauder, somebody needs to kick the Sorcerer, which is marked with orange, and there's another Sorcerer which is marked with diamond here in this pack. So you need to try and kick those to get them in. Just make this pack nice and grouped up. We're using the Exhaust Anima Orbs here as well. You don't need to sink anything else into this. So at the moment, we've got 2 spears, 3 hammers. A goal is to kill Woe here as well so that we can skip through. So killing Woe here, which means we have to watch the Woe kick as well with the... so we actually ended up killing here. So you would have another kick to watch here if you killed Woe. with the burst. We ended up killing so we're going to have to invis pot through. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some CC here, para and a Rop here. We're going to grab the spear, drop combat, and then invis through. As I said, if you didn't have this option to CC, have everybody get through, somebody go pick up the spear, run over, die, and get Mastres. It's far better off. So we're going to invis all the way through to the top here. There's another discharge animal orb behind that dead Goliath, and then we're going into the second boss. Now, we don't have hero up. If you had hero up, I would suggest heroing on this. We're going to hero as soon as we get upstairs because you don't want to hang on to it. You get 3 heroes through this dungeon pretty much, so use it here if it's up. Otherwise, use it as soon as you get upstairs. We're going to kill here. Amarth will cast Necrotic bolts throughout the fight. Functions the same way it does on the trash with the healing absorb. Just make sure you kick this. Amarth will cast adds as a DK. You can control undead to remove one of the mages, which will stay out. It means one less kick to have to manage to get them in. Watch, there'll be a crossbow add as well, which won't move. So if that is close, grip that in as well. Otherwise, CC the mages out there. The boss will cast an ability called Final Sacrifice. If any adds are left up that are not CC'd, it will wipe your group when it goes off. Final Harvest, sorry. You can also disorientate targets before that goes off. So if there was one add up and we didn't have CC, you could asphyxiate it just before that Final Harvest goes off, and that will mean the add doesn't count as being free and it won't deal damage to you. You can use in-cap raw leg sweeps for all that stuff as well. You can see that one got parried and I gripped it in. I'm just going to mass grip these in and we're going to kill it. A-bomb limbs amazing on this, but if you can, just CC the mages, kill the rest of the adds here, and you shouldn't have too many problems. We don't sink any weapons into this boss at all. Stitchflesh, the next boss, and the last boss, generally where you want to save your weapons up for here. Amarth will also enrage. If you've got a soothe, make sure you're soothing it. Another thing you can do with Amarth is as soon as the adds die, move the boss off to the side. It means when it goes to do Final Harvest, there won't be any green swirls, and it means that your group can continue to damage the boss without having to move out and lose any uptime whatsoever. So you can see Para's gone off on one of the mages out there. I've gripped the far mage in. I'm just going to kick it, and then we'll slowly get over so we can grab that crossbowman. It gets ropped in. Kill these all under the boss. The adds don't have a lot of health. If you don't have CC options, just focus the adds down. You'll be able to kill them quite quickly. They do not have a ton of health. The mages just need to make sure you kick them. So you can see here, I'm moving the boss now well away from where the adds die. Final Harvest goes off. Means we don't have to move from those green swirls. Can continue focusing into the boss and get the boss down. So boss is dead. Make sure we pick up the animal orb from over there, and then we're going to go upstairs. We've now got heroism back, so moving up to the top. I've got 24 seconds on my dancing room weapon here. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to kill... No, we ended up chilling out. So no, we ended up grabbing this corner pack. I think it actually got body pulled. So the parts are in this. We were going to pull the parts into the double corner pack. Bit unfortunate. So anyway, the collector here, make sure you're kicking the drain fluids. The big thing on the collector is to make sure that you kick Gore Splatter. Gore Splatter is a cast that goes off that deals damage to the whole group via a dot. You just need to make sure that you kick Gore Splatter. That's the biggest thing on the collectors. So there it is there. Make sure you interrupt that. So we're going to kill these with the parts as well. When you pull the parts, they fixate. If you get a stun or a disorientation, like an in-cap raw or something on the parts, it'll stop that fixate when you pull them. So make sure you do that. So we're picking up the parts here, the soldiers here. We've finished off that. Now we're going to do this double. So there's 2 Gore Splatter casts in here in the collector. We're going to orb this out here and just get as much damage. Nice mass grip in. We're going to hero this because it wasn't up down below. With the collectors, again, Gore Splatters a message on the stitch works. You just need to watch that you watch out for the frontal. The crafter will do that repair flesh. Make sure you kick it. Throw cleaver as well. Try and position that behind the stitch work. The stitch work will cast a mutilate and a tenderize. The tenderize will increase your damage taken, and the mutilates will just continue to whop damage into you. The higher your tenderize stacks, the more the mutilates are going to hurt. So make sure you're focusing them down and getting them down ASAP. Then we're moving off into the relic pack in the corner here. So we're going to kill Same stuff applies here with the throw cleavers. Just try and angle them through the mobs so it actually DPSs them down as quick as possible. Watch out for the repair flesh. Make sure you're kicking that. We're going to get them down. We're going into the corner relic pack here. Again, you've got a stitch work here. So we're killing here. You're going to be copying your tenderizers here and your mutilates. So again, if you are struggling with the mutilates and the tenderizers, Hunter's Pets can actually taunt those mobs and take the stacks for you. It's a DPS loss to the Hunter, but if you're not dying, that's the most important part. You've got a Gore Splatter kick with this collector as well, and the Drain Fluids, remember, will lock people down. So 2 important kicks in that one as well. Dropping that pack down, so then we're going to get these 2 that activate in the middle. You've got the fixate that comes from the assistant here. Just make sure when you get runaway. So that's the biggest thing here. The throw flesh will go on random members. You've also got that throw cleaver. Make sure that you are angling them behind each other so that you can kill them ASAP. And again, that's probably the most important thing here, is just making sure that you're running away with the morbid fixation. You can use any drop combat abilities like Feign Death or Vanish you can use to get rid of that ASAP. Kick the Drain Fluids and make sure you get the throw cleavers onto these mobs to kill them. Then we're off into the corner pack here. So this will spawn, again, this is with Gore Grind. So you're going to have your mutilates here and your tenderized casts to watch out for. So the bits don't really do much. It's the tenderize and mutilates again that you need to manage through here. So again, be rotating your cooldowns. There's that gut slice, which is just a turned frontal ability. Melee DPS just really need to watch out for that one. So we're going to get through this, and then we're going to move over into this corner where we're going to have another unnamed gas mob. Now, with Rot Spew here, there's going to be spew that goes out on the ground. Now, the initial spew of who it goes on will deal damage, okay? You've still got mutilates to deal with as well in here. This spew disease, you can stand in the green stuff, okay? The initial hit will deal damage. Outside of that, you can just stand in there. There's no tenderizers from Rot Spew, so it's not as deadly as Gore Chop on the other side, or Gore Grind, sorry, on the other side. But you can see I'm standing in the slime here. I'm not taking any damage. It's only the initial hit that deals damage. So we're going to get through this pack here, and then the boss is going to become active by the ad standing at the front now. Stitchflesh, 1 or 2 spears into this. We sink 1 into it on this. The big thing, do whatever you need to kill the boss, obviously. We're going to kill here. Keep it in the middle, so your group, when the meat hook comes out, have the ability to make sure that they can run around and angle this at the stage. So here comes the meat hook pointing at the stage. Going to get Stitchflesh down here. Watching out for stun there. So we kill We're going to throw 1 spear into Stitchflesh here. And then we're just going to nuke Stitchflesh as hard as we can. We do not want to kill this creation here. There's going to be 1 meat hook that comes out, and there's going to be a fixate that happens from Stitchflesh. Here it comes here. We're going to use that meat hook pointing over the boss to cancel that fixate. You don't generally want to kill the creation, because on the next one, the boss is going to jump back up onto the stage, and we would want to keep this creation alive when this meat hook goes pointed at the stage. We do keep it alive, pointed at the stage. Get out of the way. We grip Stitchflesh back down. We kill. That's actually like perfect timing. New creation comes out. Get that onto the boss here as well, and just keep sinking this damage into the boss. Now you can see a fair bit of damage goes out here. Meat hook again coming out. You want to have these positioned so when the meat hook goes off, it cancels this fixation every time. So as long as you point the arrow through the boss, meat hook will go off. It'll cancel the fixation. Nice and easy. If you were lagging on DPS here, the next hook, put it up to the stage so you can grip the boss back down. If the boss is below 5%, it will not jump up. So we were still at like 10.8. So point the hook to the stage. We've got 2 creations out now. If you were in this position and the boss was higher, you never want to have really 2 creations out. Things can get really, really messy. So if the boss was higher percent, make sure you kill off one of the creations ASAP. But we were okay there because we knew we were going to kill it. Then we're going upstairs. So we've got 2 spears, 3 hammers here, which is going to make this last boss a hell of a lot easier. So Rhinebinder, Icy Shards here, deals physical damage, which is a complete mindfuck, but the Icy Shards are physical damage, so just know that. You've got to make sure that you move out for the Comet Storm. You can just start a step around the boss for that too. You don't have to go full YOLO strafe. And we're going to kill here as well. So into the boss, you can and should use Anti-Magic Shell to help your healer through the Icebound Aegis. It's just reflecting damage there, so you can actually drop AMZ if your melee are able to stand in it there. We use our hammer to break through those shields as well. So those forge hammers, massive damage. It'll just deal, it's a really good way to break through the shield. Don't sink the hammers into realistically anything else unless you really need to save a wipe. So icy shards coming out. You can see this boss deals so much physical damage. It's actually quite insane. Frozen binds, just make sure those circles, you move away when you're getting dispelled. As the tank as well, get out of the way as well in case the healer dispels early. You can see we have a shield up there. We've sunk 2 spears into this boss already to put it down to 60%. Comet Storm coming out. Just start stepping around the boss. Nice and easy. You don't need to run out to Narnia or Africa with my hands out going, ah! Nice and chilled. Okay, so we've got 3 hammers, so we should be able to break through the next couple of shields. Frozen Bind coming out there. I'm just moving around. We've got, so 2 people down at the moment. So Cole J's just come back up. Comet Storm coming out. I just want to show you guys an example of how much damage the hammer does to the shield when it gets sent on the next shield. So it should be coming up momentarily. Got 8 seconds until the shield, and hopefully we get a hammer into this next one. And you can just see sort of how much damage goes through that shield. So shield is coming up now. We sunk a hammer into it, breaks it straight away. So, and a bunch of damage onto the boss as well. So that is it for this guide. Any questions, hit me up. Hopefully this route is something new for you, has a few new tips for you. If you need any further explanations or anything like that, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for checking out the guide. I'll see you all next time. See you, fam.